segue fora despeneceu. Não segue fora despeneceu. Não segue fora despeneceu.
What is up, everyone, and welcome to episode number 100 of the Too Metal for This podcast. The number one heavy metal podcast, according to that sweaty dude in the mosh pit.
Yeah.
I'm Jason, the Nameless, and with me, as always, is Justin Snyder, the Electric Spider.
How's it going, everybody?
And joining us for the final time is Bobby.
I am, and always will be, Bobby motherfucking McDermott.
Yes, sir.
So if you're hearing our voices right now,
Mm.
we appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
As always, we want to shout out a few people this week.
Who we got?
Big shout out to Amos Mills,
Hey, all right.
John Shoemaker,
Nice.
Beaumont Sabos,
Mhm.
Big Baby Bulldozer,
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Jaza,
Nice.
Jeff Sapita,
Okay.
and Tina Madrigal.
It's like the whole gang. Shit.
Everybody helping us out this week.
TMF Tina.
All right.
She got a lot of praise on the
Yeah.
Rockville.
Yeah, for sure.
So we appreciate everyone who likes, shares, comments, all of that good stuff. If we missed you, we still love you. Don't take it personally. So we got a special episode for you this week. We've reached a big milestone and also the end of an era.
Mm.
In honor of 100 episodes, we'll be talking about our top 6 albums so far.
Her top six.
Top 6 of the
Or
top,
top
6.
six.
These are all sixes that we've previously reviewed.
All right.
What are the best six?
Best of the best.
The best of the best. That'd have been a better name.
All right.
I mean, it's a movie already. So,
This is a good movie.
Part 2.
But before we get in to the best of the best,
Mm.
here's Justin with the news.
System of a Down bassist Chavo has a new band with Winds of Plague guitarist Michael Montoya and drummer Josh Johnson. Left to Suffer vocalist Taylor Barber and vocalist Alejandro Aranda will also be in the band, which is being called 7 Hours After Violet. Riot Fest announced their lineup. It will be headlined by Fall Out Boy, Beck, and Slayer, with support from The Offspring, who will be performing Smash, Public Enemy, Sublime, Sum 41, Rob Zombie, Lamb of God, the Marley Brothers, Newfound Glory, Taking Back Sunday, Mastodon, Suicidal Tendencies, Poison the Well, Guar, Clutch, Rival Sons, Cypress Hill, and dozens of others, including NoFX, who will be performing all 3 days. Riot Fest will be in Bridgeview, Illinois, September 20th through the 22nd. Welcome to Rockville already announced the dates for next year. The 4-day festival will take place May 15th through the 18th and returns once again to Daytona. Ginger will return to the road in September with Hannibee and Born of Osiris in support starting September 20th in Sayreville, New Jersey, and it ends October 13th in Sacramento, California. Lacuna Coil have parted ways with guitarist Diego Cavallati. He joined the band back in 2016. No replacement has been announced, but vocalist Christina Scabia said all future plans remain intact, including new music that could potentially be out later this year. Stick to Your Guns will headline a tour with Hawthorne Heights and Thursday in Support starting July 12th in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and July 29th in Tyler, Texas. Guar will embark on the Stones Age tour this fall with Dark Funeral and Squid Pisser or Cancer Bats in support depending on when you go. The tour starts October 17th in Las Vegas, and it ends November 20th in Nashville. Guar will also headline the Age of Entitlement tour this September with Regira and Cancer Christ starting September 12th in Buffalo and September 20th in Fayetteville. The Used will hit the road later this year with Plain White Tees and Raul in support starting September 21st in Little Rock and October 7th in New Orleans. The Used also recently announced their B-side album Meds will be released June 21st. John 5 will headline the Strung Out tour starting September 1st in Boston, and it ends October 20th in Novato, California. No supporting bands have been announced. Judas Priest will have a headline run with Sabaton in support starting September 13th in Montreal and October 26th in Irving, Texas. Metallica will be joining Fortnite with themed gameplay being added to Fortnite Festival, Battle Royale, Lego Fortnite, and Rock Racing as part of an all-new music experience inside of Fortnite. Metallica Fuel, Fire, and Fury will bring in-game concert performances to players June 22nd and 23rd only. And finally, Ghost's movie Right Here, Right Now will be in theaters on limited release this Thursday, June 20th and Saturday, June 22nd only. So if you want to see it in theaters, this will be your only chance. That's the news this week. Don't spread bullshit. Check your facts and stay informed. I'll see you guys next week.
New release rundown. New release rundown. New release rundown. New release rundown.
What is up, everyone? Jason the Nameless here with this week's new release rundown. So one of the biggest releases this week, at least in my opinion, is the Black Dahlia Murder, released their first new song since 2020. Their new single, Aftermath, is streaming now. Notably, this is the first music the band have recorded since the untimely passing of vocalist Trevor Sturnad in 2022. This song has Brian Eschbach stepping up to the lead vocal position. All That Remains dropped their second single from their upcoming album. The song is titled Let You Go. No release date has been confirmed for that new album as of yet, but they do seem to be sticking to that Fall of Ideals, Overcome era style. So we'll see what that album has in store for us. Code Orange released their new single, Circle Through, Abstracted. This is a remix of this track from their 2023 album, The Above. Bleed From Within dropped the new single titled Hands of Sin. No word yet on if an album is to follow or if this is just a standalone single. The band last released an album in June of 2022, so I would expect a new album could be in the works. And if you're looking for something more on the extreme side, here's a couple of full album releases for you. Squid Pisser just released their sophomore album, Dreams of Puke. And Ulcerate dropped their 7th full-length album, Cutting the Throat of God. This is just a tiny snippet of all the cool shit that came out this week. Check it out and let us know what's going on your playlist and let us know what you hated. Until next week, listen to something new and open your mind. All right, everyone.
All right.
As we mentioned in the intro, we reached episode 100.
That's a lot.
And honestly, we all talked to each other and we're like, what the fuck do we do for episode 100?
Yeah.
And the answer ended up being kind of simple.
Mm.
Over the course of this podcast, we've reviewed over 400 albums.
Mm-hmm.
And
A lot of music.
the percentage of those that we actually gave a perfect 6 to is pretty slim in comparison to the ones that didn't get that distinction. It's very slim in Justin's case.
Should be. I
I've
mean,
23 over that period.
Yeah, Justin's given 23 6s since the show started. I've actually given 40.
I had somewhere around 75, but
Yeah, Bobby's around 75.
got some extra shit that I reviewed, but whatever. Still,
Yeah, Bobby's also done significantly more reviews than Justin and I, so he's
Yeah.
going to have the more 6s. But what we decided to do was let's talk about the top 6 of the albums that we rated a 6. So essentially, as Justin said, the best of the best so far. That's what we're going to be talking about this week. Seems like the perfect way to celebrate 100 episodes
Fuck
by
yeah.
talking about some of our favorite shit. So,
Mhm.
and by kicking it off with a top 6, because that's how we started this. So I'm going to kick it off with my number 6 pick.
What'd you get?
So coming in at number 6, I got Pantera with the album Vulgar Display of Power.
Huh?
Pretty good album.
Hard to think of a more important album than this one, really. It belongs up there with the all-time greats like Metallica's Black Album, Megadeth's Rust in Peace, and Smash Mouth's Astro.
Rather hear that than a Black Album.
You had to bring Smash Mouth into the
have to.
100th episode.
You have to.
Of course.
Heard it 100 fucking times. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we pretty much have.
But seriously, though, to this day, this is some of the most brutal music to ever make it into the mainstream. And it still blows my mind sometimes when I think about it. Like,
Yeah.
they play this shit on the radio and MTV. Like,
Mhm.
do they hear how fucking angry this guy is? Do they hear how heavy these riffs are? Like, it's crazy. This album was heavy, raw, uncompromising, with the ultimate craftsman, Dimebag Darrell, at the helm, writing some of the catchiest riffs of all time. Together, the four-piece from Texas pushed an entire genre forward and inspired pretty much every musician to touch an instrument after that. My number 6 pick is Pantera with Vulgar Display of Power.
That's a good one. I believe I also gave that a 6.
I did not. I think I gave it a 5.5. I
Yeah,
ruined
you
the
don't
perfect
like nothing.
6.
One of us always got to ruin it, man.
Not always. But you know who ruined my number 6 pick?
Probably me.
No, Bobby,
Oh.
you gave this one a 6. Jason ruined this one. My number 6 comes from Slipknot,
Oh,
the
yeah.
self-titled album.
I was surprised you didn't give that a 6. That was threw me for-
We previously reviewed this on episode 48, which was Rewind 1999. This album broke new ground in the mainstream metal scene. As Jason talked about with Pantera, it is hard to believe some of this was played on the radio as well. A band that appealed to the new metal crowd with Corey's more accessible vocals, but they added a psychotic element with war samples and then aggression that was all rooted in more of a death metal sound with Joey's crazy-ass drumming. This album was a force when it came out, and it still holds up. It's one of the best debut albums of all time. Sick, Eyeless, Spit It Out, and Wait and Bleed are the songs everyone knows, but if you listen to the show long enough, you know Purity is my favorite track on the album. So my number 6 is Slipknot's Slipknot.
Nice. That is a good
Self-titled.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, one a little bit different on my picks here. First half, I got top 6 from the music reviews that I've done. And then the second half will be the actual group reviews we've done. So,
Cool.
got some new stuff and then some classics. So, my first one, 6, is from Horrid Sight, 2022's Evil Made Flesh. 8 songs, 42 minutes, Mexican death thrash. Now, before I heard this, if you just said, BMFM, do you like Mexican death thrash? I'm like, I fucking probably do. Sick riffs and some serious headbanging grooves. Killer title track opener sets the fucking tone. The song Transitory Wealth is one of the best on the fucking thing. It's on so many playlists. I'm always happy when this band fucking comes on. Excellent debut album. I'm really excited to hear their next stuff. Good production, cool songs, energy never fucking lets up. Fucking Horrid Sight, Evil Made Flesh. Check that shit out if you haven't already. You're done.
Mexican death thrash. Not partially Mexican, though.
Yeah, they're fully fucking Mexican. Refried beans and all.
If I had a Mexican death rash, I would probably get some
He said
antibiotics
a
for
death
that.
rash.
That's when it's a Tijuana tour. Mexican death rash. Hey, Doc, you got something for that?
All right, so my number 5 album.
Number 5.
I feel like I should have tried to guess him, but I wouldn't have guessed you picked Pantera.
He picked my number 1 wrong. You guys will too.
It doesn't matter, right? In the end.
You might not have guessed them in order, but you'd
It's not
probably
that
guess.
bad.
I bet you'd have got 3 out of 6.
Because you only
at
got
least.
like 20, so you
Yeah.
got a shorter list.
He had 40. I had 23.
Whatever's.
I had
What
to
do you
pick
got?
6 out of 23. It was like 1 out of every 4.
All right, what do you got number 5?
Number 5, Deftones with Around the Fur.
Right, yes. I believe
This-
I also gave that a 6. Sorry.
Yep. This is not even my favorite Deftones album, but that does not stop it from being absolutely
Okay.
perfect. From the opening riff of My Own Summer
Hmm.
to the sexy reflective vibe of MX, this album is chock full of personality
Mhm.
and remains to this day one of the most original pieces of music ever composed.
Mm-hmm.
This was only the beginning of the band pushing boundaries and striving to always stay on their own path. Even though some people like Disturbed's new album better than this one,
Some people.
Deftones Around the Fur is a perfect 6, and it is my number 5 album so far.
I
That's
might
a
have been
good
too hard on it, but
one. Man, that's the album, man. When the girl's flipping through the CD list and she picks that, you know it's on, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. That's the one.
My number 5 comes from an album that is one of the few perfect 6 albums from all three of us. It's White Zombie's Astro Creep 2000.
Right, that was the first one, wasn't it?
It was the first one. Previous,
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was the second.
No.
Sepultura was before it.
Yeah.
Was Sepultura?
I
first?
believe Sepultura was on Bobby's first birthday episode, and it was one of the first ones that we group reviewed
Okay.
like that, if I
Alright.
remember right. So,
Could be.
but anyways, Astro Creep, we reviewed this on episode 12, which was the Christmas 2022 episode.
Wow.
This is a defining moment for White Zombie, in my opinion. Felt darker and heavier than their previous efforts, dealing with murder, the undead, blasphemy, and satanic elements.
Yeah.
Full of cool samples and grooves that we've come to expect from Zombie,
I just ate up yours, baby.
as well as the Yaz.
Yeah.
It's a flawless album, starting with Electric Head, Supercharger Heaven, Real Solution, Creature of the Wheel, to the iconic More Human Than Human, which is still a staple of Zombie's live shows to this day. But my 3 favorite tracks are Grease Paint and Monkey Brains, El Phantasmo, and Blood, Milk, and Sky.
I blurred the Technicolors again.
That's another good one. There's no skip songs on this album. It's perfect,
It's a good one.
as is everything we're talking about today. It's
Even
an
the
absolute
remix
classic.
version of the album was cool. The super sexy
Yeah,
swinging sounds.
that's a
Yeah.
fucking-
Yeah. An absolute classic that still stands up to the test of time. White Zombies, Astro Creep 2000 is my number 5.
Nice.
Yeah. You could totally see the growth from the sexy sore ass.
You see the growth from the sexy Sorens. Right? Got a Mexican death rash. All right, so we're still in the music reviews. You guys might have remembered this one. Spirit World 2022
Hey.
Death Western. 11 songs, 36 minutes, metallic hardcore from Las Vegas. The bastard child of Slayer and Hatebreed with cowboy hats.
Love it.
This shit is brutal heavy, but it's also pretty fucking fun. Thrashy grooves with some big chuggas drive this beast along as vicious vocals tell stories of evil undead mayhem in a supernatural Old West. It's fucking cool. From the opening saloon ditty of Mojave Bloodlust all the way to the closer 1,000 Deaths. This record is packed with awesome riffs. Their debut album is cool too, but they tightened up on this one. Better production, better songs, better delivery. Great fucking album. Spirit World, Death Western. Check that shit out.
I think it's my favorite album from your reviews.
Yeah, it's
probably.
so good, man.
Oh, you know,
Yeah, maybe so. That's
Like,
definitely
it's-
one of the ones that the
Mm.
3 of us all like really,
it's a great album.
really ate that
It's a
shit
good
up.
one, man.
Love to see him one day.
Even
If they
when
do
it-
come around, the 3 of us got to go to that
Totally.
for sure.
Yep.
I don't know why they fucking haven't come down here. I think came
They were
close.
on they were like in North Florida, I want to say, on a tour, maybe Georgia.
Something like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking love to see that shit, man. But the album is still killer. Every time I kick it on, I'm like, yep, still good. Still like it.
Hey, Danny Wimmer, I know you listen to this podcast. Put them on Rockville next year.
Yeah, Danny.
Appreciate it. Mayhem Fest, that'd be a good spot for Mayhem Fest too. Fuck, Summer Slaughter. Why
I
would
mean,
that would have been a good Summer Slaughter band?
So getting into number 4.
Number 4. What do you get?
My number 4 comes from All That Remains with the Fall of Ideals.
Good album.
This is the second most important album to come out in the early days of metalcore. The first is Alive or Just Breathing by Killswitch Engage, but we have not reviewed that album on the show.
We haven't. We did End a Heartache on the
There-
same episode, right?
Therefore, we could not add it on this list.
Yeah.
But this album is an absolute masterpiece, the likes of which have never really been replicated in metalcore since. The band was firing on all cylinders here. Ollie was absolutely shredding on the guitars, and the band had mastered the art of writing these big, catchy choruses in the midst of this brutal music. And at this point in their career, they were doing it without watering it down and ruining it
Mhm.
by trying too hard to appeal to the mainstream
This is
radio
before
crowd.
2 weeks came out.
Yeah, and they've been like kind of on that half radio, half heavy ever since.
Yep.
But this one was where they captured it, where it was perfect. They didn't try to appeal to the radio stuff. All of the clean vocals and the melodic stuff was there for a reason. It was put there with purpose. It made sense in the song. It was not forced. And then you had songs like The Weak Willed, where it was just straight brutal death metal. And for me, that opened doors for me. Like, I wasn't listening to death metal back then. I mean, unless you want to talk about bands like In Flames and stuff. I wasn't listening to fucking Cannibal Corpse and, like real brutal death metal. So this band also was a gateway for me to get into some more extreme stuff that I hadn't given it
Yeah.
a chance prior.
I actually got into death metal not long after this came out, and songs like The Weak Willed and What's What kind of opened that
Yeah.
door for me, honestly. So
Great. That's
as crazy as that sounds, yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs
You
from
know?
that album to this day, man. I
Yep.
love The Weak Will.
I gave this one a 6 as
Uh,
well.
I never tire of this album. It's never left my rotation since its initial release. My number 4 pick is All That Remains with the Fall of Ideals.
All right.
By the way, fun fact, I originally gave Rise of Brutality a 6 when we first reviewed it. When we reviewed it on the discography episode, I changed it to a 5.5. I forgot about that
How was that a fun fact? I didn't.
because it's one of my 23 6s. I just went back and looked.
Oh, punk ass.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Changing rating.
Changed
it.
My bad.
Changer.
My bad.
Mind changing little bitch.
Well, my number 4 has never changed as far as my rating is from Hatebreed is Perseverance. We previously reviewed this just pretty recently, episode 90, discography Hatebreed Part 1.
That was recent, yeah.
Yeah. Perseverance is a relentless onslaught of pain and aggression and determination to find an inner strength through everything. Packed full of powerful lyrics, crushing breakdowns. If it doesn't motivate you, you're probably dead inside. Bobby even likes this one.
Damn, you know what I mean?
This is top tier Hatebreed. It's always been my favorite Hatebreed album. I Will Be Heard, A Call for Blood, Proven, and of course the title track Perseverance are the standouts, but there's no skip tracks. Hatebreed's Perseverance is my number 4.
That's a good one.
That would have been a good endorsement for the album. It even motivates this emotionless fuck.
Emotionless and blind.
Feelings. It appealed to his one feeling.
Yeah.
He felt a slight tingle.
It did. It was fucking pissed. I was like, yeah, all right. All right, so this is the last of the new stuff, but to me it's fucking awesome. Church of Misery in 2023 dropped Born Under a Bad Sign, 7 songs, 53 minutes of Japanese murder doom.
Murder Doom.
It's killer drugged out stoner riffing, bluesy leads, and rockin' drums with lyrics focused on serial killers and high-profile murders. The first song, Beltway Sniper, has one of the sickest opening intros I've heard in a long while. Gets into some seriously awesome riffing. Also, the track Come and Get Me, Sucker is fucking super cool. These guys were always kind of hit and miss for me up until this album. Constant lineup changes, that shit'll do it. The bass player being the only consistent member, finally just realized, yo, I'm the fucking guy in the band. This is what we're doing. And they fucking nailed it on this last album. Love this shit. Church of Misery, Born Under a Bad Sign. That's the kind of shit I fucking like.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
But dude, the fucking opening is sick. It's like the fucking news reporters talking about what's going on with that dude. Remember the sniper?
Yep.
Mhm.
And in the background, you can hear somebody like racking a fucking gun, and he's like, 2 people were killed in this thing, and it switches to the next caster. And then right as the fucking gun blast goes on, the fucking song just kicks in like out of nowhere. Like it's not on timing. It's like a very jolting, but it's so evil and ominous sounding. Because I remember seeing the fucking news, and I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell is going on?
Captures that whole.
Sick as fuck.
Feeling,
And then the whole
yeah.
album's just, they're just in the murder dooms. What they call
Murder
them?
doom.
Fucking serial killers and shit. I like that.
I mean,
Cool.
you have
Gets
me.
my feelings going.
Yeah.
Feeling.
Man, the
Man.
serial killer shit gets me going too. I'm
Mhm.
interested.
Huh?
I don't even like Doom.
That's
but
what gets you going. You got to watch some serial killer shit first.
Well, it's more like stoner metal. It's faster than Doom. They just call it murder doom, so you might dig it.
to quote a great man, it's the only way I can come anymore.
Oh.
Go on.
All right. So moving on to my number 3 pick. Comes to you from none other than Rage Against the Machine
Rage. All right.
with their self-titled album.
Nice.
This is the single most important album to come out in the 90s, in my opinion.
Whew, that's a
And
big
yes,
statement.
I understand that
Wow.
Nevermind came out in the 90s.
A lot of stuff came out.
For
of that.
me,
Huh.
for me, I said in my opinion.
I got you.
Because so much of the music that is gone on to become my favorite would not exist had this album not come
This
out.
is your groundwork for new metal,
That's your-
you know? So
Absolutely. We had seen a few bands dip their toes into blending rap and metal,
Mm.
like most notably Faith No More.
Mm.
But this was a completely fresh sound overall.
Mm-hmm.
Rage Against the Machine was not a new metal band, and I will argue
Mhm.
that till the
No.
end of eternity.
there's really only a few new metal
If you
bands.
think Rage Against the Machine is
honestly.
a new metal band, you're an idiot.
I don't really think it's rap rock either. It's
It's
not
not.
really rapping.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
He gets like the cadence of rap, but
yeah,
he's
but
not.
it's
He's
with
not
the
really rapping.
furious,
Yeah.
raw delivery of like hardcore style, which is where he
Exactly.
comes from.
Exactly.
Anyways, that's your choice. You do say your thing.
But
We're
you're
interrupting your lap,
right.
but
I
yeah.
agree 100%.
What would you call it then?
But it did inspire
Alternative?
all of the rap metal stuff. For me, I don't know. I mean, it's a blend, man. Like there's funk, metal.
It'd be hard to put a
Hip-hop,
label on it,
the
honestly.
hardcore
I would just
punk.
say alternative kind of, you can put all that in there.
I suppose. But definitely, I think it's important to showcase all those different elements that
Yeah.
it brings because it is. It's funk, it's metal, it's
Mhm.
hip hop, it's
Mhm.
hardcore.
Mhm.
And it
good.
had at the time and probably still some of the most innovative guitar playing of all time.
Mhm.
I mean, Rage Against the Machine laid the groundwork for a lot of stuff to come
Mhm.
after them.
Solid
Yeah.
rhythm
And
section.
no one's ever been able to replicate what they've done.
Kept the same
Uh,
lineup the whole time.
Same
Yeah.
lineup.
Cranked out fucking few
It's a
great
shame
albums and then
these-
fucked off.
It's a shame they can't fucking get along and tour, man.
I think it's. I mean, it'd be cool, but it's awesome that they didn't. That's all you got. That was fucking
It's like
awesome.
a, it's like
They're all
It is,
good.
and-
It's like a Led Zeppelin. It was a flash and it was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You know?
Bobby said that before on here, I believe, probably when we did the discography. Like, yeah, in a way, it's a bummer. We never got anything new, but what they gave us was pretty much perfect or as close to perfect as you can
Mhm.
ask for.
For the most part, it was really
Do
good.
we want them to come back and possibly fuck up that
A bunch of old
legacy?
dudes with a bunch of money. That ain't the same vibe.
I don't
Yeah.
need new Rage music.
Yeah,
I
what
just
are they
want a tour.
raging against, you know?
Mhm.
But absolutely. I mean, yeah, you don't have to agree with me that it's the most important, but you
It's
definitely
in the
if-
conversation.
If you listen to metal, it is one of the most important albums to come out in the 90s for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So that's my number 3 pick, Rage Against the Machine with their self-titled album. Fuck you, I will do what you tell me.
Slightly irritated at the ATM machine would be the new band.
Raging with the Machine.
You know what I mean?
My number 3 is my newest album on here.
Yeah?
Comes from Lorna Shore.
All right.
It is Pain Remains. We previously reviewed this on episode 81, Deathcore Part 2. I've easily played this album over 100 times in the last year and a half,
Mm.
and brought it up in one way or another on numerous episodes, maybe a dozen at this point.
Mhm.
I absolutely love this album. In my opinion, it is one of the best albums to come out in the last 15 to 20 years, and definitely defines modern deathcore, especially if you're talking about the symphonic side of modern deathcore.
Mhm.
I'll be lucky enough to hear this album played in full later this year, and I can't fucking wait. Standout tracks are the entire fucking album. But the Pain Remains trilogy to close it out is one of the most perfect pieces of music ever created. So Lorna Shore's Pain Remains is my number 3.
And don't forget, they got the instrumental version that they
They did.
released, which is better, I think. Yeah.
It's really cool to go listen to it. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily say it's better, but to actually hear all the intricate stuff they're
Mhm,
doing
mhm.
without Will's vocals is really cool too.
There's a lot of shit going on in
Yeah.
there, and you can't really focus on that.
Will gets a lot of credit for their popularity, but the band behind them is fucking
Mhm.
amazing. So
Yeah, and actually, you know, if you're only casually familiar with them, go listen to the album before that because they had already moved into that direction. They were
Yeah.
already doing that stuff. The older stuff before that was pretty raw.
Yeah.
But this, like the album right before this, that's the one where they started to move in that direction. And they've pretty much been the fucking leaders of the pack, like billions of copycats out there now trying to do
Mhm.
the same shit.
they're powerhouse. This tour is selling out quick too. So if you haven't got tickets, you might want to get them. Jason, did you get them for September?
I got them.
Good deal, because them prices skyrocketed on the
Day
secondary.
one during the
Fucking
pre-sale,
nuts.
man.
Me too. Yeah. Bobby, what you got for number 3? We're into the group reviews now for you.
Now we're into the group review. You guys may have recalled this. I was super excited to talk about it. 1999, the Atomic Bitchwax dropped their self-titled debut, 11 songs, 53 minutes of super stoner rock awesomeness from New Jersey. Back to front shred fest, balls out, drug-fueled, rockin' and rollin', great riffs, killer grooves with pure psychedelic gold. This shit's fucking super fun, good time. Amazing tracks like Birth to the Earth, Crazed Fandango, and Shit Kicker, which is one of my favorite songs of all fucking time. An incredible 10-minute long closer, The Formula. Definitely get your levels right and check out one of my favorite albums of all time. Definitely in the top 10. The Atomic Bitchwax. They're self-titled. That's a fucking 6. And I was surprised you guys kind of liked it a little bit.
That one was fun, man.
That
It
was
really
an interesting one. That's one we had to look up on like YouTube, wasn't it? Because it's not on Spotify and shit. Yeah.
That shit.
That one was
Yeah.
surprisingly a good time, man.
I like
Yeah.
that
Definitely.
one.
All right, man. We're getting into number
That's
2.
definitely a Bobby pick, man.
Mhm.
That's perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I like that one. That was one of the ones that
That was,
really
I
enjoyed
think, the first long song that you were like, man, that was actually pretty cool. 10 minutes, and you're like, dude, I didn't lose any interest. It was fucking cool. So that was surprising. I was fully prepared for you guys to fucking gong the shit out of that.
All right, moving on to number two. My number 2 pick is
Remember when we used to do the fart noise?
I do. I missed that. That's why I threw it in there.
It was a real
4 times.
fart for those listening.
Yeah.
I took it out.
Jason shat his pants that night
Took it out for a reason.
because it was disgusting. That was awesome.
Look, man. I mean, the reality is, and I'm gonna leave this in here, okay? The reality is
You got to get your wiener touched at the end of the day, so sometimes you got to edit this fucking show. I get it.
exactly. That was pretty much perfect. That was a real fart. It was nasty.
It's disgusting, man.
I did not shit my pants, but it was
smelled
goddamn close.
horrible.
It was directly into the mic. This mic that's right in front of my face
He's
right
putting
now.
put his mouth on it now. Probably has not washed it or sanitized it in any way.
When Amy, my wife, found out that that was a real fart, I feel like it changed the way she looked at me a little bit.
Amy.
And then she was having to hear it week after week after week.
God, so as a
And,
reminder.
you know, as Bobby said, you know, like, I need to maintain some level of attractiveness to my lady. So I quit putting that noise in there. I'm sorry, guys. You know, I can find a fake fart to put back in there if you want, but the real one's not coming back. Okay. Anyways, on to number 2.
Number 2.
Got a rerun here for you.
Rerunny pants.
It's Lorna Shore.
Ah, is it?
My number 2 is Hatebreed
No, Perseverance.
with the album Perseverance. As
So
Justin
Lorna,
said,
so Lorna Shore's not on your top 6. Okay.
it hasn't even been that damn long since we talked about this album. So
10 episodes ago.
I'm sorry to bring it back up, but
Don't be. It's a great album.
It's a good one.
it's the ultimate album to listen to when you're going to battle with life.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel like you can take on the entire universe and come out victorious. You can take on God himself if he
Nope.
existed. Or the devil. If
I
he
could kiss the
existed.
fuck out of the devil. What?
This is the soundtrack to getting your shit together and fucking giving life the middle finger
Mhm.
and succeeding in spite of all of the negativity around you.
Mm.
We discussed it on the show. It's straight caveman music in the best fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
Just meat and potatoes, metal and hardcore.
Mm-hmm. It's
I
what
don't-
metalcore should be.
Yes.
The term, anyway. Yeah, that.
It is the best definition of metalcore because
Yes.
it is it's the most literal.
It's hardcore
uh,
dudes playing metal.
Yeah. So there's nothing else I can say that we haven't literally just said.
That's it.
Nah, that's a good one, man.
My
That's a
number
good one. It's
two
a good
hate-
pick.
My number 2 pick so far is Hatebreed, Perseverance.
All right.
Good pick. My number 2 was previously reviewed on episode 15, New Metal Volume 1. It's Linkin Park, A Hybrid Theory.
Right.
It's been a while since I brought this album up.
It has.
It actually
it-
has.
it-
Fucking has.
It really has. It's the undoubted masterpiece of the new metal era.
Mm.
The balance of Chester's absolutely incredible vocal range, his intense passion, his crushing pain, mixed with Mike's raps that have lyrics that will speak to generation after generation for years to come. That's one of the cleanest albums ever produced. I've said it before. It's perfection. When we first reviewed this, in the end, had 1.4 billion streams on Spotify. What do you think it's at now?
2.
Correct. It's now over 2
No, I meant like 2.
2 billion streams.
I meant like 1, 2, like 2.
Like,
you
let,
know?
2 billion streams.
let that sink in.
2
Like,
billion. How many times did you fucking play it since we fucking talked
It
about
ain't me. That
Half a
song
billion.
is like, that song is just resonating. It's absolutely timeless. It's incredible. You can love it or you can hate it, but regardless, you must respect what this album did and it continues to do for the scene.
Put some respect on my name.
It's bringing kids in, man. Like even now. So Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory is my number 2.
Wow. I would have thought that would have went to number 1, but I guess I can guess what number.
You should be able to guess what number 1 is.
It's a perfect album though, for real. I mean, there's
Production-wise, I'll give you that. It is amazing production, and it damn sure influenced a lot of fucking bands, and thank you for that, because there's a lot of shitty fucking production out there. It is clean as fuck sounding.
It's super clean.
Cramming it.
Like that's incredible. So
yeah.
The same thing with the Black album. They showed what you can do in the
Yep.
fucking studio. So yeah, crank out a dog shit album with good production, and then it'll make better bands. So yeah, cheers to that.
What's your number 2, Bobby?
You want to take a guess?
Oh, are we at White Zombie?
Nah, you're wrong as fuck.
I tried. Slipknot.
1983, Kill 'Em All. 10
Oh.
songs,
Oh.
51 minutes of thrash metal from California. This is easily one of the most important albums of metal. The speed, the fury, the absolute raw awesomeness, the riffs, the fucking riffs, man. So badass.
This was episode 60.
This album is overflowing with them. Starts and ends strong with classics all throughout. Motor Breath, Phantom Lord are some of the best thrash songs out there. And of course, Anastasia pulling teeth, goddamn bass solo on your debut fucking record. That's fucking top shelf. Definitely in my top 10 metal albums of all time. Kill 'Em All. Check that shit out.
Yes. Check it out, Jason.
It's a 6.
It is.
I haven't heard Megadeth come up in this
It's
6.
on my list. We haven't reviewed any Megadeth album.
You laugh in your fucking face.
I mean, what? This thing
Man.
hasn't come up in the list.
in your face. That was funny.
Yeah, the guy that's laughing at me is the guy that changed the discography, which was supposed to
It
be
was,
Megadeth.
and he was like,
You
nah,
would
I'm
have
listening
said
to it.
no.
I like Hatebreed.
You could have said no.
Well,
but-
you didn't tell me you're going to laugh in my face in episode 100.
And then like 12, they got a shit ton.
Oh, it's
That's
more
why we
than
didn't.
12. It's
Hey,
a
That's
fuck
the
ton.
only reason.
if we stick to the schedule, there's a Megadeth album coming up
Yeah.
sometime in the summer, maybe.
I honestly,
So.
I'm kidding. I support the decision to cut that discography because it's
It would have been
fucking
long as fuck,
Fucking
man.
dude.
God
It's too
damn.
much.
and it includes Risk. Like,
We'll talk about Megadeth other ways. As I said, in the summer it should pop back up. So
Number 1.
but yeah,
number
man,
1 from Jason. Are we getting a
Kill 'Em
retread?
All unexpectedly 6. God damn, that's a good album.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, if you recall, Kill 'Em All was one of the first things I talked about.
Absolutely, I think it was the very first episode,
Mm-hmm.
and you said I don't even consider it a Metallica album. It's just Kill 'Em All.
I want somebody to I want somebody to,
Kill 'Em All.
Yep.
I ain't seen that shit.
I want somebody to go try to find that first episode. Ooh.
All right, so my number 1 album comes from Lorna Shore
Oh, nice.
with the album Pain Remains.
Okay.
So I didn't actually make a whole lot of notes on this album because I expected Justin to
Mm.
gush over it a whole lot more than he
Gosh,
did.
The floor's all sticky.
But this is what I will tell you.
I gushed all over it in the Deathcore episode
Mm.
and in the Tales from the Tour episode.
And I thought it was coming again. So,
He came again, yeah.
I did.
in
My
my
votes are wet.
opinion, this is the most important album to come out since Killswitch Engage is alive or just breathing.
Okay.
So there's a theme throughout my top 6, if you haven't noticed.
Important album.
It's these pivotal albums that
All right.
like spark an entire movement.
I got you.
And that happened with Rage Against the Machine.
Mhm.
It happened again with Killswitch Engage.
Mhm.
I couldn't specifically speak about them on this episode, so I chose All That Remains. But those are bands that spark that movement.
Mm-hmm.
And Lorna Shore right now, whether you love the album or hate it, this album is bringing extreme metal in front of the biggest audience that it's probably ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And you could say what you want. Like, yeah, I get
I
it.
do.
Like the guy, you look at the singer. Yeah, he looks like a pretty guy.
What? I didn't say that.
Who fucking cares? Like, oh, girls like that music. So what?
They
Does
love it.
that
Mm.
does that make the music any less extreme? Does it make it any more palatable to the untrained ear?
It's broadening the fan base with some fucking
It's
crazy
Fuck what
metal,
the
man.
thing looks like. What does it sound like?
It's
Yeah.
brutal fucking
yeah.
music.
Yeah.
And these guys are bringing it to audiences that have never experienced it before.
Mm.
And I don't care how they're doing that because there's not a gimmick there. They're not doing anything crazy.
Mm.
They're playing the music that they want to play.
Mm.
And yeah, okay, the frontman happens to be an attractive dude and he's bringing girls to the party. That's fucking great. Do you guys want to keep going to shows where it's a bunch of sweaty fucking bearded dudes that look like me and
I like
Bobby?
the mix we have
Or
now.
do you want to go to shows where there's attractive
Yeah, I
women?
want to go to shows where people look like me. What the fuck?
Yeah, but you want attractive women to be there too.
I do. God, death metal girls.
And you know who doesn't bring a ton of them to the party?
Death Cannibal metal. Corpse.
Fucking Under,
Mhm.
Cannibal Corpse, Obituary. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
going to be some girls. They're not going to be that
Yeah,
many.
no.
They're not going to be that many. They want to see those locks. They want to see that curly mane on Will's head.
That ramen noodle.
But seriously, like, this album is super important because of what it's doing right now. But it's also just one of the most perfectly composed pieces of music that I've had my ears on in a long time. And it's been a long time since an album has impacted me the way this one has.
Mhm.
I can't think of a modern album that I've listened to the amount of times that I listened to Pain Remains. And
I agree with you.
it's
been over
incredible.
20 years for me. Hybrid Theory was the last
So-
one. So
I get it. I know that we've gushed over this album many, many, many times. That's why it's here. That's
Yep.
why it's in my number one spot of all the albums we've talked about on this show so far. And I think that's great. Like, that makes me feel really fucking good about the future of metal, that an album that just came out a few years ago in 2022 is number one on my list of all the shit we've talked about on this show. Like, that's huge. That means that cool shit is continuing to happen.
it's in my top 3. I mean,
And we have a lot to look forward to.
mhm,
Look, we got a lot of bullshit to look forward to too,
mhm.
but there's going to be good stuff that cuts through, and that's what's
It
important.
is interesting you brought up that there's no fucking gimmick.
no,
I mean,
they
it's
just got there and fucking
it's
play.
incredible musicianship in an odd place, and I guess the only gimmick is the old Noodlehead. Kind of
Yeah, and that's just how
looks
it
funny.
looks,
He's
you
like
know?
a- he's
But
like
I
a
mean,
golden
most
retriever.
rock stars,
Fucking
they,
nice
they
dude,
look
you know?
fucking silly.
Yeah,
the
and that's just that's how he looks. You know, I
You know
don't
what I
think
mean?
he really puts a
Yep.
whole lot of thought into it. It's just
But I'm saying if that's like you said, there's no fucking gimmick, and they're fucking pretty huge for the scene. Like,
yeah. And think about it, man. Like, that's introducing people to that style of vocal that
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
never listened to it before. Guess what? All those girls now they can go and listen to something like fucking Dying Fetus or Cattle Decapitation because now they're trained. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Fucking shout out.
I
That's a
was
classic.
laughing
I like the
at,
blood on the
some
bill.
chicks listening to the Dying Fetus. And, I don't know about that one.
It
Yeah.
depends who it is.
Big fan of abortion twins.
Not-
Like, fuck yeah.
Not just chicks, you know, dudes that still have their bitch ears that haven't been properly acclimated yet. That's okay. We were all that dude at one point.
At some point.
As I said,
Mm.
thank you, all that remains, because you got me over the hump.
Yeah, All That Remains and Children of Bodom and Flames, those are all around the same time period for me, and that's what pushed me to a more extreme vocal.
Yeah, it was specifically though all the remains and Scar Symmetry that got me used to
Scar
that
Symmetry,
growling
yeah.
that
Yeah.
I was not
It's a
accustomed to.
forgotten
prior.
one there. So,
Yeah.
cool.
All right, I've taken enough time, Justin. What do you got for number one?
So for me, it seems to be a 20-year cycle. Number 3 was Lawrence Shore, so that's the 2020s. Number 2 was Linkin Park, so that's 2000. End of the 90s, 2000s.
Okay.
Number 1, you all should know, 1984, Metallica's
Yeah.
Ride the Lightning.
All right.
The only 7 ever. The only fucking 7 we've ever done.
You know who rides the lightning? The electric fucking
The electric
spider.
That's Spider.
It all makes fucking sense.
That's how it happened. He was reading fucking Spider-Man comics, listening to Ride the Lightning.
Love it. We previously reviewed this on episode 60, which was my birthday episode, Discography Metallica, the 80s. James never sounded better. He was great on Kill 'Em All, but he sounded better on Ride the Lightning. This is the album for me, not just for Metallica, but in general. It is perfection on every level and the blueprint of what I want in my metal albums. The song structure, the tones, the pacing, the solos, the energy, the aggression, the emotion, every single thing about this album is perfect to me. It's the one that opened the doors for me and will always be my favorite album of all time. Metallica's Ride Lightning is my number 1.
Fuck yeah.
And I can just say, like, from all the shit that we've reviewed that you like, there's a blueprint to the Justin sound.
Mm.
It comes from
And,
this.
Yes, we can hear that and all the stuff that you
Yeah.
recommend. You know, you brought it up before, like with the long intros and the
Mhm.
build-ups, and like it's there. Like I get it.
This
When
is
you say that that's what you look for in a metal album, yeah,
They did it.
you've demonstrated it through all of your reviews ever since.
Metallica, Ride the Lightning.
Totally, yeah. That's what I would have guessed.
The main event is Bobby
That.
with number 1.
My number 1.
Who do
The
we got?
Black Album from Metallica.
Do we have Clutch? Do we have White Zombie? Do we have Sepultura? Do we have...
We have Sepultura.
There
Of
you
course we
go.
have Sepultura. What the fuck? 1991. Arise.
Arise.
9 songs,
Okay.
42 minutes of Brazilian death
Right,
metal
you're right.
perfection.
You did say this was your favorite from them.
We all love Chaos AD. It changed the scene
do.
without a fucking doubt. But this album was the end of an era. This is what they were originally aiming for. This is their fucking death metal peak, the zenith. The journey fucking brought them to this. Starts with one of the best opening title tracks of all fucking time, packed full of incredible songs like Desperate Cry, Subtraction, and my all-time favorite song from the band, and in general, Altered State. Brutal fucking closing track, Infected Voice. Some of the sickest riffs ever. Scorching solos, amazing drums, absolute crushing grooves. It's brutal, it's angry, it's unrelenting. It's everything I fucking want from death metal. It's what made me fall in love with Andreas Kisser's guitar playing and Igor's drumming. Those dudes are fucking awesome and on such another goddamn level. Listen to this album 10 million thousand fucking times. It never gets old. It gets better. Sepultura's Arise. It's a 666 fucking pentagrams, man. Fuck yeah.
That would be 10 billion times.
No, it's 1,000,000
Okay.
times 10.
Maybe it's more.
You're speaking English.
I'm speaking English.
He's speaking Brazilian.
He's speaking BMF-ish.
Man, that's
You
the
met
fucking
him.
album, though, man.
You
The
met him.
fucking artwork was cool. Igor had fucking got his own drum set, and he's just fucking tickling the fuck out of them toms.
That's
Solos, so insane. And then they changed on Chaos AD, which was groundbreaking, but that's the fucking peak, man.
And yeah, I mean, definitely for that style because, like you said, right after that they changed, and then the albums prior to that was like
Well, another-
terrible production.
They're doing the
and-
fucking mixes where they need to stop at Schizophrenia. Don't fuck with Beneath the Remains. Has the shittier production, but it's still fucking gold. Do not touch Arise.
No, and I
I'll
think
find you, Max.
I feel like
if
I'll
you go
find
back to our discography, I think we're all in agreement there.
I
Like, that's
do,
when
but
it got real good.
I feel
Mhm.
like Beneath the Remains they're going to touch, and I think they'll stop at Arise.
I'm
hope
actually
they-
on
I
board
hope.
with Bobby on this one, though.
I
with
hope they
Beneath the
stop now,
Remains.
but I think they'll. I
I
think,
think
they will
they
go
should
one more.
stop. Like
Okay.
the ones that they've done, like they benefited from.
Yeah,
the,
totally.
the
The
records,
fucking
but,
yeah.
EP and that shit sounds awesome.
I like your other bands do it too. By the way,
And
In Flames, for example.
Schizophrenia is a good one to redo. That was one of the ones I listened to the least. It's a good album, but it's just
it probably had the worst production out of all of the
it's
Sepultura
got some
albums.
good stuff on there, but just stop there, man. you know?
Yeah.
Or
But-
somehow kiss and make up and then go get the band and redo Arise on a tour or something. Don't try and do Arise without Andreas. That's fucking the dumbest thing ever.
I can't think of a better way to end the top 6 though, for episode 100 than talking about one of the bands that we all enjoyed gushing over.
Sepultura, man.
One of my favorite discographies that we went through, even
Yeah.
with the ups and downs.
Mm.
So many hidden gems that people have never checked out.
The,
If you're one of
newer
these
work,
fucking people that won't
gave
listen
up.
to post Max
Ugh.
Sepultura, like
It's
you have
ridiculous.
seriously deprived yourself of some great
Yeah.
albums. Like Quadra was almost on this list for me. I had a hard time not putting it on there, but when you're talking about the best of the best, it was like, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
but Quadra, motherfucker, like if you never listened to that, like
Eloy,
Eloy,
Casagrande,
motherfuckers. Hopefully, what with the Eloy getting some shit
some
over here, it's like,
Slipknot.
people's gonna
Maybe
go
people
check
go
out
back,
the catalog
yeah.
and
I
be
hope
like,
so.
hey, what the fuck?
I hope so.
Because everybody's like, oh, he's really good. I've fucking been saying that shit for 10,000,000 years. What to pay attention, fuckers.
dude, I'll say that like from damn near the beginning of this podcast, you've been singing that dude's praises.
He's a bad
So-
motherfucker. And you even said it. You could
And
hear
you're-
the songs are different, but the better. Like he's.
And you're
He's on
hard
the-
on drummers. Like you're hard on drummers.
I got a hard on for drummers.
Looking at you,
sometimes.
fucking Paul Bostaff. Like
Fuck you,
you
Paul.
got, he's second only to Lars with the amount of hate that he's got on this shit.
Dude,
No,
I fucking hate
Travis
Paul.
from Blink 182. I don't like that guy even more. That guy's one
Travis
trick pony.
Barker.
That guy sucks.
All right, well that's 18 albums. Not exactly. It's actually 16 albums because Jason copied 2 of my picks.
he
You should go check out.
copied you, is what he said, not the other way around.
Even though my shit was at number
Right.
one.
Well, Perseverance too.
Before we get out of here, though, you guys got any favorite moments from the episodes or whatever? Favorite episodes, favorite
So
moments?
listen, one of my favorite moments is when we had that ass hat on YouTube go talk about our fucking beards, and like 20 minutes later, Bobby has a fucking bear's blood commercial for us, ready to fucking go.
No, I'm good with Sprite.
Good shit right there.
Talk some shit, I'll come at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
that
good-
shit
good
came
stuff.
together quick, and it's
Super quick.
probably the best commercial that you've done. I mean, it's between that one and Goat's Blood, but
I like goat's
man.
blood. It's pretty funny. The little goat cracks me up. I enjoyed the back-to-back Melvins episodes. That was funny.
Yeah,
But I really like that I got you guys into some Devo. That was
Devo was fun.
really into that
A
one.
very odd pick.
And
recently.
the countdowns are pretty goddamn funny. I'll tell you that shit.
Yeah.
I do agree, and even though mine have been rare, when I give a
It's
give a
fun.
one,
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I have a good fucking time
Mm,
hanging out.
nice.
Those. It's
Yeah.
like I hate this, and this is why.
Yes.
Ah,
I almost want to give
It's
some more
therapeutic.
ones.
Yeah, but it's funny to, say some positive things in a negative way, but it also shows that, you put in the work, you listen to it, and you genuinely don't fucking like it. And it's not
You tried to find things to like,
You know what I mean?
but it
Leave
still
Well,
wasn't good enough.
and I think the thing that I'm going to miss about the dynamic between the three of us
you being in the middle.
is that, like, yeah, well, number one, yeah, I'm about to become the bad guy because
Oh, man.
by default, like,
Mm.
then I'm going to be the one recommending the shit that he doesn't like.
Right. Well, you
And
got to
it-
keep recommending stuff.
So that's going to happen. But what I think has happened, like, even though, like, so much of the stuff that we brought to each other's attention we didn't like,
Mm.
there's a whole lot of common ground that we found
Mm.
Yeah.
throughout this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's bands like fucking Spirit World,
Mhm.
you know, like where we've all embraced it. There's episodes like fucking Sepultura, like where everybody was like, yeah, this shit was so awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And where we've agreed on hating on shit. Fucking Metallica. The bad albums.
Yep.
We all shit on the same albums because they're fucking
The
terrible.
Metallica,
Like,
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we like the
Uh,
good albums, It's like
I
same thing.
love the fact that we never exchanged notes and we never talked about how things were going, but we would so often get together and have the same opinions on
Yep.
stuff, which I think just shows like how intently we're listening and what we're hearing and how we're consuming it. So, I mean,
It's shit. Like maybe because you don't like a band that another guy likes, but if you talk to him, you might find you had some common ground in there after all. Just fucking talk.
Exactly.
That's the whole spirit of the podcast.
Just keep talking about shit.
Too metal for this.
Oh, yeah, all sentimental. Then.
but
It is, though. I mean,
since we're on a sentimental
too many
note,
feelings for this.
that's why Bobby's leaving.
first I'll give you my touchy-feely favorite
All right.
Bobby moment.
Okay. When I touched you and you felt it. Mm.
Well, we agreed not to talk about that on the show.
You know,
agreed.
his tribute to
Not me.
Lemmy. He's wearing the Motorhead shirt right now.
Well,
Your
that's-
tribute to Lemmy though. Was,
That was exactly what I was going to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
It's the closest thing I've ever seen to Bobby demonstrating like real feelings.
You can't fail the fucking Lemmy, man. You know.
It was just done so well
a
though
lot of pressure,
because you still put number one all of your personality into that.
Mm.
But it was so animated, I mean, when you talked about the drug use and the cocaine, but it was just done so delicately as well. Like Justin or I could not have done that tribute and done it justice the way that you did. It was just one of those moments where this is a guy that truly reveres this person and he's telling us exactly how he feels.
It made our tributes feel inadequate, honestly. Like you did such a good job with it. It's not that we did a bad job, but you did such a good job with yours that it was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I think it was a good
You know.
representation of the fan I am of music. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's what I'm into. That's how I'm gonna enjoy things. That's what I enjoy. That's you know what I mean. I talked about the I didn't gloss over like he was fucking didn't have any faults. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, absolutely. You did a proper
I didn't
tribute.
glamorize the.
You don't ignore the crazy shit that happened,
Nah, man.
but basically it's like, yeah, this dude was kind of out there, but
I think
this
that's
is what
my
he gave
proudest
the
moment.
world, and like, fuck.
That's my proudest moment on the show was
Yeah.
the Lemmy. I think I
Um,
did pretty good on that.
that was on the In Memoriam episode. If you guys want to go back and look at that.
Mhm.
My personal favorite though was the first Halloween episode that we all did together, and it's just the whole episode. It's not like any one moment.
Mm.
But I just think we had such a good fucking time doing
The
that.
holiday special.
And there
Right,
was
man?
so many funny moments, when we talked about the Friday the 13th movies and,
Oh, candy. Yeah, it was
the
that
best
was a wild-
kills and
that was a
all of
wild
that
one,
shit.
yeah.
Like, it's just one of the most
Yeah.
fun episodes that we've done.
The Halloween episodes are always fun. Not to put you on the spot, Bobby, but you got to come back for the
I
Halloween
think I even
episode.
managed to get the reviews like Halloween themed.
Yeah.
Luckily, fucking was it Dave the Slasher and
Yep.
some other stuff. Yeah. I don't know.
Start prepping for October, Bobby.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of
But,
fun for 100 episodes, though. We ain't slowing down, though. We're going to keep going.
It's
So
gonna get better. Production's gonna be all clean. Gonna switch hit between harsh and clean vocals. You know what I mean?
the Halloween episode was
Look,
the
guys,
4th episode, by the
Here's
way.
what you can look forward
Jeez.
to going forward. Lots of flingity fling fling ballads,
Feelings,
Metalcore, core, more
lyric,
core.
so much ding dongery,
all
more
the ding
core.
dongery, all of it.
all the ding dongery that we've been holding back on. If you like ding dongs, it's coming, baby. It's coming.
Ding dong, sing alongs, feelings, and lyrics, all coming up.
Look, man, I just want to
We'll
say
stay
this for
brutal.
real, and this has been an awesome couple of years. It's been awesome 100 episodes that we've done together. Like Justin said, we're just getting started.
Mhm.
I hope you all continue to listen, but nothing but respect to Mr. motherfucking McDermott over here.
Mhm.
God damn right.
For everything that he's brought to the table. Your contributions are much appreciated, and you've got a place in TMFT history, and you're always welcome back.
I'm sure I'll
Yeah.
stop by and talk shit now and then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you haven't picked up, for anybody wondering, there's no hard feelings. There's no bad blood here. It's not like there was some crazy shit that happened. It's just,
No, the reality is, unfortunately, like sometimes doing this type of stuff can start to feel like a fucking job.
it's a lot of work
And,
for those that don't know. It's
I
a
can-
lot of fucking work. So.
I can tell you from my own experience that sometimes when things start to feel like a job, the pressure gets to you and you want to bow out,
Yeah.
and you want to do things that you enjoy. And
Mhm.
man, that's fucking fine,
So Bobby, you've been playing more bass lately?
I've actually been playing the guitar
Playing more
like, even,
guitar
like-
lately?
like,
Well, bass is a guitar. Yes, you told me one day.
So I was averaging about 15 to 20 hours a week dedicated to this show, and now I'm gonna fucking focus that to making music
Mhm.
instead of listening to it, which is what I wanted to do anyways.
It's awesome.
Quote I've recently seen was, "I don't make music because I think I'm great at it. I just want to be a fucking part of it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's fucking killing me not being creative in the music and shit. And so you're listening. So I'm listening to stuff and I'm hearing all these cool ideas, and like even the shit that you guys listed that I don't. A lot of cool production tricks, and I'm getting all these
Mhm.
fucking ideas, and I'm not using it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna go do. Focus on making music.
It's awesome.
And you can bet your ass that when Bobby's got
Yeah.
something to share, that we're going to play it for you guys.
You
on
let
the
us know, and
show.
we'll
So
play it for sure.
You know,
1000%.
Hopefully in the future we can get some cool music behind these commercials and stuff. Or,
There you go.
Yep.
know, intros and whatnot.
So-
We'll see what can happen.
Creative consultant.
Hey,
Staying.
man, I'm not leaving because I fucking hate y'all. I
Yeah,
do
no.
hate y'all's music. It's fucking terrible. I'm not gonna lie. It's just
Everybody knows that if they've been listening.
It's
It's fucking
hard
hard.
to listen to. But yeah, man, love you
hadn't made that a
guys.
secret, so
Totally love you guys.
Yeah, man.
This shit's, like I said, it's gonna get better. We did kill them all. Now you guys are gonna make Ride the Lightning. You know what I'm saying? Everything's gonna
That's
be
an
better.
interesting way to look at it.
So if you guys have been following, I hope you continue to follow. Like Justin said, like Bobby said, no bad blood here. We're all
Nah.
brothers. And hopefully you'll be hearing from Bobby here and there throughout the future. And when he's got some cool shit to share, we will be sharing it and we'll be supporting. So that's it, guys.
That's it.
Episode fucking
That's it,
100.
man.
One fucking 100.
The
You
end
guys,
of one era, beginning of another.
Everybody fucking chime in on what your favorite episode was. Your favorite fucking.
What's your
parts
favorite Bobby moment?
Fucking 1 through 100, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of
Fucking
them.
crushed all of it.
You might hear some favorite Bobby moments.
What
here
was
in
my
just a
worst
second.
episode? You know, it's fucking
The one you weren't on.
metalcore, I guess. And,
You weren't on the 1999 episode.
I
Yeah,
don't.
you were. Yeah, you were. You weren't on the
He wasn't on the 2006
2006
episode.
episode, I
there
think
you
it
go.
was.
Yeah. Somehow
Yeah.
I missed Power Slave. One of my
Yeah,
favorite
you
fucking
did.
albums.
Yeah, you did.
Take that, quitter. All right, fucks.
Be cool. Be
Stay
metal.
metal.
All right, everyone. That
All
is
right.
our episode for this week.
That's
That's
it.
it.
That is
hopefully
it. That is
you
it.
enjoyed episode 100,
That's it. New era coming up.
the final
Mhm.
episode for one Bobby M.F. McDermott.
Goddamn right. Done. That's it.
That's
Hope
it.
you enjoyed it.
was fun.
We'll miss him.
Yeah.
It was an experience.
We broke him.
It was emotional.
We broke him.
I emoted too much on this show. My feeling hurts.
You got to protect that one feeling.
It's worn out, man. It's raw. Raw ass feeling.
So if you want to know where we're going from here, you're going to have to listen to episode 101.
Nah. But you can always catch me over on Two Melvins for this, where we talk about Melvins all the time.
I like to refer to that as hell.
If you do decide to do that, we will let the audience know.
Absolutely.
The people that would listen to it will already be aware.
All three of them.
And Bobby knows this, but for the listener's sake, Bobby has an open invitation to stop by and jump
Anytime.
in on any
I'll drop
episodes
by,
that he
talk some
wants
shit.
to.
Yeah.
So you might hear that old familiar voice every now and then.
I'll phone it in. You know what I mean?
There you go.
There we go.
Literally phone it in.
Mm.
All right, everyone. We got a lot of big, exciting things still to come, though.
Mhm.
The
Keep
Spider
listening.
and I have been working on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So don't give up.
Tune in to 101.
Tune in to episode 101.
It's
and,
gonna be
see what
better.
we got in store for you.
You don't have to worry about me jumping all over your fucking talking and shit, making dumb noises. It's gonna be amazing, everyone.
Why
Yeah,
did you
now I gotta-
interrupt me? I was trying to say
Because
something.
that's what I fucking do.
Shit. Now I got to
It's
come in
my
and make
last
all the
time to
dumb
do it.
noises. Brr.
Man.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right.
That's it for
That's
this week.
it.
It's it.
Until next week.
Until
Keep it metal.
keep it fucking metal, you pussies.
And let's hope that Bobby rests slightly uncomfortably.
I'll stay uncomfortable just for you. Just for you.